without further ado, the Susquehanna, the Monongahela, all those fine rivers there going right into the draft right there in PA, baby. Without further ado, we bring you Big Z, Zander Krause. How you doing, bro?
Nice. What's up, Sills? How you doing, brother?
I am doing.
You liking what you heard from Howie?
Oh, yeah, because it's more content.
Yeah, I agree.
What'd you make of Howard Roseman's comments there at the NFL owner meetings there with, hey, my boy's an Eagle right now. What'd you make of it?
It sounded like a PR to me, right? Nick said the same thing today, so you can tell they were given the sheet, the index card of the sentence to memorize before they went out to the podium. AJ Brown is still an Eagles. Nick said the same thing, so it was a PR response. I thought Howie was honest about a couple things, but not about everything. And AJ was one of the ones that was a clear PR response. So we'll see what they do. I think. I don't think they have as much leverage, though, as people think. I really don't, Sills. So I don't know if Howie's not only playing the fans, but he might be playing the other people as well. Because how many people want him? How many people are willing to trade what Howie wants for that player?
Depends on what the asking price becomes.
Well, you keep telling me he hasn't declined, and it's got nothing to do with the decline, and there's nobody out there willing to pay the Birds what they want.
I know, man. He's got like 8 drops in 531 targets. I get it. Hey, look, I understand. You think
if he's so good, why is there nobody's giving him a first-round pick?
How do you know that?
We'll see.
Wait a minute. That's a good take by you, and I'll ask you this: you think the Eagles are in a hurry right now, pre-June 1?
No.
Right. What?
I'll ask you, am I still connected?
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just putting my headphone in. Pieta says I have an echo. If they got what they wanted, you think they would have traded them by now?
No. Not because of the cap hit. Nope. I think they'll tell them this. I think we'll wait until June 1 where that thing goes down to $14 million. Oh, this is about the cap now because I've made a point here.
Well, it's the same hit, remember. It's the same hit. It's just spread across 2 years after June 1.
7 a year.
No, 14 and 20 and 26 if they wait till June 1.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
instead
right.
Instead of 40 all in 1 year, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I think they're waiting till June 1.
Well, we'll see.
Hey, by the way, my meter on him has now gone to 99.9.1%.
Yeah, that meter's that meter's been at 99.9 for 3 years. It finally come to fruition. You don't get to take a victory lap after 3 years.
I told you I told you this year, but I didn't tell you it was New England. I've been telling you for 7 months, since the season ended. It's New England. And he's going in New England, 99.1%. He is so good. Help me out here on some of your Eagle fans because you have a connection with these guys. Why are they campaigning for a guy that hates it there?
What do you mean campaigning for him?
Wait, every time I bring up the fact that AJ wants out and he's 1,000% gone, why are people campaigning and saying, you're wrong, Sills. He's going to be here?
Well, because people don't want him to leave, dude. That's not hard to believe. I mean, he's
I don't want anybody who doesn't want to be here.
I'm not saying you're wrong about that, but that doesn't just allow people to disassociate from what they've seen for the last 4 years. I mean, this guy showed up to Philadelphia and, that was the best receiver play we've seen in Philly maybe ever with him and Devontae Smith. For a multiple year stretch there. So, people don't just want to let go of that easily. Before that, we had Jalen Reagor and Nelson Aguilar and, some guys like guys like that. I mean, even in McNabb's days, Pinkston and Thrash, and you're not talking about great receivers. So fans aren't just going to be like, see ya, who cares? Let's go back to Queasy Watkins on the practice squad. Now, I don't think you're wrong if he really wants out, but that's why people don't want to hear it,
Lane Johnson is full of shit.
Why?
Okay. Boy, this new playbook. Holy cow. Man, the concepts, I'm like, wow. Now, my question is, where's this infamous playbook ever been? Like, has anyone ever read it before? Have they even made it? Has he ever had a playbook that he made for a quarterback or a team? Hey, Kyle, when was this guy hired? This guy was hired like 2 months ago, and he's never had a playbook in his entire life that he made. What is that BS that? And let me add the other bullshit in this. Jeff being around the organization, Stoutland was asked directly. He goes, I have no role in this organization.
What did Lane Johnson actually say about the playbook?
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to do.
I don't even think he talked about the playbook.
This thing, I can't wait. I'm excited. How can you be excited about something you never seen before?
That's not even. He said, "I'm excited about the new system. I think it has some Shanahan elements in it."
Where did he see this?
Like that's what Lane said when he said this a couple weeks ago. He said this. I think it may have some. It has some Shanahan elements in it, and I think it may be easier on the edge for Jordan Mailata and I. So maybe not as much isolation. And when you run wide zone like the 49ers and the guy comes over you, you're not worried about it. You just keep going. I can get used to that. So yeah, I'm excited. I've watched these offenses from afar and been like, damn, that looks pretty fun. AK doesn't have to. He's got a different style of blocking. You don't need a playbook to tell Lane Johnson that.
I gotta find.
Don't start shitting on my boy Lane Johnson. You and Johnny Mack. Johnny Mack took a shit on him today too.
I got to take a look at these new concepts in this playbook that DeJean Mannion blocking scheme. Let me see here. I Googled it. I can't find it. Hey, watch this. Can I see the Sean? Siri, Sean Mannion playbook. It doesn't exist. All right. Well, hey, we shall see. I can't. Do you not agree that it's concepts? It's not actuality here. This is kind of like, a vision.
Well, so you think the guy doesn't even have a vision after 2 months of being hired?
No, I think he does. I don't think it's ever been executed.
Well, so are you going to kill him for that before he even gets a chance to execute?
Yeah. And he's never.
Well, then that's your prerogative. Hey, I can talk about the lack of experience. I'm not going to sit here and fucking tell you every day he's never called a play. I know.
Guys, listen to this. I am going to kill a guy who's never put a playbook together and never called a play.
No, but my point isn't that you're killing him. My point is that you're acting like it's a revelation that he hasn't instituted or hasn't established his offense yet. There's no games.
What was Lane talking about then?
You can have an idea of an identity with.
Ooh, hope. Idea.
Oh, gosh. Dude, you're a fucking nightmare. Are you telling me when you get signed to a team, there's not a phone call that gets made? I remember a call when, what's his name? Mike McDaniel got hired in Miami, and he calls up Tua on the plane. Oh, we're going to do this and this and that. That doesn't mean there's a playbook. It just means you have an idea and a vision for the offense.
Huh.
Sean Mannion probably called his Hall of Fame right tackle and said, let's stop. You're 35 years old. Let's extend your career to 40. Let's spread this thing out wide a little bit. We're going to take some of the concepts of what's worked around the league, some of what you've done well, and let's go.
He's been a coach for 24 months. Okay. All right.
I wouldn't have hired the guy in the first place, but that's not the conversation.
What about the other bullshit with just Stoutland thing about Stoutland said, I have no role.
Yeah, I don't know what Lane was talking about.
Look, I'm not going to kill Lane for being optimistic.
I think Stoutland's a little emotional. He's like Big Sills. He's
a little emotional. Too,
he's got a little bit of a big head, He was upset that Nicky Sirianni wanted the run game back.
Okay.
I think Jeff Stoutland might have been listening to too much Big Sills.
Hold on here.
Telling him that Nick Sirianni was a stiff.
Those guys put those things in their ears like this. I cannot do it.
Boy, I tell you what, what the interesting part of this season is that nobody's talked about yet. Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts have the opportunity this year to break the narratives open. They're either going to prove guys like Sills right and Senorita right, or they are going to fall flat and it will be ugly. But like if Nick and Jalen succeed this year, no Stoutland,
Okay.
What are you going to say? Are you still going to give it to the suit in the upstairs?
Wait a second. Then what's success to you
this year?
Yeah.
Super Bowl contender. Second, third round of the playoffs.
Okay. In the second, third round, you get to the NFC Championship game or division.
Yeah, because I've always believed that if you get to the playoffs, and you can lose in the second round, and it might be upsetting at the time, but it's not always an unsuccessful year, if that makes sense. Obviously, you want to win it all, but my point is you can be for example, the Rams last year, do you think their fan base for whatever fans they have was like, what a letdown? No, I just think they lost in the playoffs and it didn't end the way they wanted it to. But all things considered, they were a great football team. I think that's what the Eagles want this year. You got to be in the dance. You got to be competent, and the fans have to feel like you're a good enough team to go the distance. It doesn't mean you will, but you want to get that feeling. That feeling never came last year.
See, for me, the Rams had a great year last year. They lost to the eventual champs. And at the end of the day, I mean, if the Rams or the Seahawks, do you not agree? The NFC Championship game was really the Super Bowl. Correct? The NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't. I know
the winner of that game would have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Patriots weren't beating those teams, right?
But what if they have that this year? The Eagles.
Never happened.
That's not what I asked. I asked, what if they did? Then what would it force you to think about?
It will look like Nick Sirianni, without a doubt, beat the odds. And not being
and Jalen,
both of those cabooses. And Howie Roseman, once again, will go down as the greatest general manager of all time if he's able to do that.
The only team in football that Sileo will give all the credit to the suits. This guy's a former player, everybody.
No, wait.
Talking it's the suits.
Vic does too. Vic says, I don't care what systems you have. You don't have the Jimmys and Joes.
Yeah, Vic also takes subtle shots at Howie Roseman. We're the farm system for the rest of the league. That's also what he says. Include the whole story there.
That's right, man. Hey, homie looks at that and says, "Hey,
I think I have a new nickname for you. You want to hear it?"
Sure.
No, I don't want. I don't.
Go ahead, man. It's all good.
You're a little emotional. I don't want to get
absolutely not. I have no way.
It's Dan Woodshed Sileo. Because I've been taking you to the fucking woodshed, my guy.
How are you taking me to a woodshed to a guy that doesn't have some sort of infamous playbook that's never existed in his entire life? And I'm supposed to give a guy who's never called a play in his life. It's one thing for a guy to have called plays to come up with a concept for a quarterback and build an offense.
Well, no debate.
It's another concept for a guy who's never even been on the chalkboard before drawing a play.
Well, listen, I don't disagree with that. I think Sean Mannion could have a bright future, but I don't know that I would have chosen him to be the offensive coordinator of the 2026 Eagles. I think both of those things can be true.
What about this? Listen, how about this? Don't you agree that you hire a guy who's not a very, let's see, you hired a guy who's not with great experience. How does that affect? I mean, this is Nick. You hire a guy with less experience. You know what? I don't want to talk about Sean Filet Mignon. I'm going to go to another one here.
You don't like Sean Filet Mignon?
No, I don't know who he is. I don't like him or dislike him. I have no idea who he is. And so I'm giving the keys to Jalen Hurts for a second year in a row to a guy who's less experienced than Kevin. I don't know.